Beer here back in the Fantasy Bar. 6 plays for you for Wednesday night, including what pair of teammates I'm chasing after tonight. A couple of revenge narratives on the docket. My favorite bet of the night, and of course, my favorite play of the night. I think you got to lock in to every lineup. Who is it? Belly up to the Fantasy Bar and find out. Welcome in, guys. We're back to back. Beer's Daily Fantasy 6-pack back here once again with the All-Star break approaching. Wanted to get one more 6-pack in this week to cover the big games we have here on Wednesday night. Thank you, as always, for stopping by the Fantasy Bar. With our new format, we'll give you 5 DFS plays and, of course, my favorite bet of the night coming off a winner. Last night, we gave you the Phoenix Suns plus the 2 and the money line. Both hit. Phoenix ended up winning that game. Hopefully you guys got in on that, and hopefully you're taking advantage of these special prices over on scoresandodds.com/beer. Click the link right below the video description, guys. The guys continue to hand out winners left and right, easy winners. Last night, a couple of the guys on Ja Morant, over 18.5 points. Of course, we had him as our beast of the night last night as well. Obviously, that one hit. College basketball winners. Got some futures up right now from our boy Dan Bach for MVP Rookie of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year. So make sure you guys are taking advantage. Click that link, scoresandodds.com/beer. Paid by the week, the month, the year. Great, great betting information. And March Madness right around the corner, guys. Want to make sure you guys are equipped here for March Madness and the NBA playoffs coming up as well. Plus, golf winners left and right. Also, make sure you click the thumbs up button here on YouTube and subscribe to the channel, guys. Helps us out tremendously. That thumbs up is the tip jar here in the Fantasy Bar, and I greatly appreciate it. All right, let's get into the NBA action tonight. Got a huge slate of games here on FanDuel and DraftKings. Let's start at shooting guard, small forward with Norman Powell of the Raptors. So we know Toronto going to be thin tonight. We'll talk about that here in a second. Let's take a look at Norman Powell, though, a guy that we've talked about many times here in the 6-pack, and a guy when he's in the starting lineup is generally very productive. And recently, we've gotten some big production out of Norman Powell, especially for a guy under 7,000. We're talking 39 or more DraftKings points now in 4 of the last 6 games. So we're talking an easy 6x return in 4 of those games on these salaries. Now, let's talk about Toronto. We know they're going to be down a bunch of bodies, including key names like Fred VanVleet, Pascal Siakam, OG Anunoby. Well, that's going to mean good things here for Norman Powell. Usage jumps over 9% here with those guys off the floor, and the matchup great here as well. So a lot of factors in the corner here in Norman Powell. Detroit, 4th most fantasy points allowed according to defense versus archetype, something you can find in our RotoGrinders premium suite of tools. But bottom 5 in that department are the Pistons. We get a good matchup, we get a good price, we got an injury situation we can capitalize on, and a guy that's played well in the starting lineup. A lot of things in favor of Norman Powell here tonight to lead us off in the 6-pack. All right, moving on. Let's go to another team that's going to be a little thin on superstars tonight. That's the Lakers. We're going to roll with point guard, shooting guard, Dennis Schroeder. Now, quite a few options are going to be in play here for the Lakers. Obviously, you take AD out of that lineup. That's a massive hole. Then you take LeBron. There is a ton of usage to go around. And Schroeder, the guy that I want to get in to my lineups, especially my cash games, even in tournaments. I think there's plenty of upside. Why? This guy averages over a fantasy point per minute with these 2 guys off the floor. You got to imagine he's going to play upwards of 30, 35 minutes in this game. And again, we get a good matchup as well. So a lot of factors. In our corner here, Sacramento, 6th most fantasy points allowed to the point guard position. A team that plays very little defense. This game could be a little bit more high scoring than the number indicates. But either way, we get this guy under 6K. Lakers going to need his offense. Again, guys like Talen Horton-Tucker, Montrezl Harrell, Kyle Kuzma, if he goes. Plenty of options here on the Lakers. But to me, Dennis Schroeder stands head and shoulders above the rest and going to be a big part of my builds here on Wednesday night. All right, let's get to our bet of the night. Again, Phoenix was good to us last night. We're going to go with another underdog here tonight. We're going to roll with the Philadelphia Sixers +3. Also going to give you a bonus, the money line +120. So we're going to do the double dip here tonight on Philadelphia, playing well right now, winning 5 of the last 7 games. We know this is a very good team at home. This dates back over the last couple seasons. Even without fans in the stands, Philly still dominant at home, 15-3 record so far this season in the friendly confines. And Utah struggling a little bit And on the other side, we know the Jazz have been a monster this season, covering games left and right, but sometimes regression is going to hit, and we're starting to see that a little bit here with the Utah Jazz. In fact, this road trip not been great to them. Losses in both New Orleans and Miami, two teams, in my opinion, inferior to the Philadelphia 76ers. So we're getting 3 points here. I think this line starts to trend a little bit more towards 2, possibly 1.5. So you might want to grab it early. So I think Philadelphia wins this one handily, easily covers that spread, obviously covers that money line. And that is our bet of the night, brought to you by our friends over at ScoresAndOdds.com. All right, back to the DFS plays. Let's go to shooting guard, small forward, Anthony Edwards of Minnesota. Now, Edwards finally starting to look like that #1 pick, a guy that you have highly touted, obviously coming out of Georgia, has had some rookie struggles, but really starting to get it going here of late, averaging over 39 DraftKings points per game in his last 3. And what's leading him there? Well, it's a ton of minutes. He's playing almost 35 minutes per game and a ton of shots as well, over 21 shots per game in the last 3. Even with the return of Karl Anthony Towns, Anthony Edwards is still a guy that's producing a ton, taking a ton of shots. We have no D'Angelo Russell tonight, no Malik Beasley. When you take those two guys off the floor, again, this comes courtesy of our Court IQ tool. Can be found in our RotoGrinders premium tools as well. We're talking about a 35% usage rate here for Anthony Edwards with those guys off the floor. Think about it. Those guys are 20-point per game scorers. Somebody's got to do the scoring besides Karl Anthony Towns. And to me, it's going to be Anthony Edwards. Now, we get to sprinkle in a little bit of narrative as well. You guys know I love the narratives going against fellow rookie and Rookie of the Year frontrunner LaMelo Ball. I think you're going to see Anthony Edwards on a mission here tonight, a chip on his shoulder. Lot to prove here that he is the best rookie in the league. So a guy playing well, a guy taking a ton of shots, playing a ton of minutes, a guy under 7K, and a guy in a showdown with a fellow Rookie of the Year contender. Loving this spot tonight for Anthony Edwards against the Charlotte Hornets. All right, let's go back to Toronto. They're going to be very thin. Let's take advantage with power forward center Chris Boucher. So some call him Boucher, Boucher, Bobby Boucher, whatever the hell you want to call him. All I know is we've already talked about how thin Toronto's going to be with 3 of their best players off the floor. We're going to talk about the production here, again, from Court IQ. 1.34 fantasy points per minute with these guys off the floor due to these COVID issues. So a guy in those mid-6s, we'll give him 30 minutes. We're talking about a big production here on that number. And another matchup, we can take advantage of the Detroit Pistons. Not good against the center position, bottom 10 in fantasy points allowed here against big men. So Chris Boucher in a good spot. Let's get him in those lineups tonight against the Detroit Pistons. All right, it's time to take a look at my favorite play for Wednesday night. Before we do that, guys, we're going to continue the Beats of the Night contest. How do you play? Well, absolutely free to play. Get in the comment section right below the video and let me know fantasy points on DraftKings for my favorite play. Your guess, the closest guess to the actual output, will win themselves either a 3-day pass, absolutely free, to RotoGrinders Premium, or if you're already a loyal subscriber, we will send you a free RotoGrinders t-shirt. Let's wrap up Wednesday night. Let's wrap up the first half of the NBA season with my favorite play tonight. You know, Matt, the Beast of the Night. All right, Beast time, and I love revenge narratives. You guys know that. I love taking these strolls on Narrative Street, and I can't think of a better revenge narrative we can have out there than James Harden returning to Houston to play his former team, making James Harden tonight's Beast of the Night. Now, obviously, the relationship did not end well with Harden and the Rockets. Things got ugly. It's not always a narrative when a guy gets traded, goes away, but something like this, James Harden is going to come out on a mission. We know Kevin Durant out of that lineup, so that's obviously good news for us in the Harden department. I hate giving you guys the most expensive guy on the slate as the Beast of the Night, but Harden playing so well right now. 60 or more DraftKings points now in 6 of his last 9 games. That justifies that big $11,000 price point. If we're getting 60 burgers left and right, we've given you some value here. I think there's going to be more value that opens up throughout the day. I think you're going to see a lot of big names potentially resting, sitting out here with the All-Star game around the corner. Luka Doncic, one of those names. So Dallas may be a team we can target. The point is, you're going to have the money available. This is the guy you want to get in those lineups. I'm not messing around here. This is not just based on the narrative. That is a big part of it, no doubt. The recent production here also factors in, but that matchup with Houston, I think Harden could potentially threaten 100 fantasy points. I'm gonna go huge here, and I don't think that's out of the question. We just saw him get 80 the other night. I'm gonna say he threatens 100 fantasy points on the night here. James Harden, easily my favorite play for Wednesday night and tonight's beast of the night. All right, guys, that'll do it for the 6-pack here. 5 picks and my favorite bet of the night. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the segment. Let's talk about it in the comment section. Any comments, questions, feedback about the picks, about the bet, some of your favorite bets. Let's talk about it down there. And don't forget, fantasy points on DraftKings or James Harden. Am I crazy saying 100 fantasy points is within reason? But get your guess for a shot at some free RG Premium. Make sure you get over to scoresandodds.com, guys. I'm telling you, some tremendous premium picks going on over there in a variety of sports. So click that link below the video. Take advantage of those picks. Get them in your tool belt. As sports betting grows throughout the country, you want to make sure you're prepared and getting the best information. In my opinion, you're not getting any more information, any better information than you're getting at scoresandodds.com/beer. For RotoGrinders.com, I am Beer saying salut, guys. Good luck tonight. Enjoy the All-Star break. We'll be back on the other side with more videos. Have a good weekend coming up, and we'll see you.
Hey, thanks for checking out our videos. If you want more expert advice on DraftKings, FanDuel, or any other daily fantasy sports, make sure you check out the current videos playlist